Hey everybody, it's me, Russ Shaw, and today it's Black History Month. Alright, it's almost over, but I've been thinking about this since I saw Tavis's channel, and I thought that's a great idea. Black History in Vinyl. He was talking about Target put up a thing like books and vinyl, and you walked in the store, Black History Month. Like, that's awesome. I wanted to share some stuff. I wanted to share a piece of Black history. Music, to me, and it's easy to say this as a white guy, I suppose, right? That it's just like Jimi Hendrix is just the air I breathe. Do I see him as a black man who made history in music? Obviously. But he's just an awesome, incredible human who made musical history to me. But I wanted to honor Aretha Franklin and this story about the NATRA. All right, this stands for the National Association of Television and Radio Announcers, and some of the history. So I'm going to share this record. I wanted to do like a review of this record. This is Aretha live in Philly, 1972. Oh Me, Oh My. And this was Record Store Day release. It comes with a gatefold, 1972. Some of the story, and it's an amazing. This is an amazing piece of history. It's an amazing piece of Black history, because the NATRA is sort of like what I imagine like the vinyl community is now a bit. Right? Back in the 60s, radio and television announcers got the attention of a man named Martin Luther King Jr. And in 1967, he spoke to the NATRA.
And in a real sense, you have paved the way for social and political change by creating a powerful cultural bridge between black and white. School integration is much easier now that they share a common music, a common language, and enjoy the same dances.
And this really was a shot in the arm, and it rallied, a lot of these radio announcers, because music started to, right, like all these racist people, trying not to say swear words here, but all the racism, especially like in the South, and they're trying to segregate and they're trying to tear people apart, and these are white people over here and black people over here. And then there was this thing called music and radio and broadcasting and all of the hit makers from the 60s, the Platters and the Supremes, and I could go on and I could be here all day mentioning black artists in the 60s that were chart-topping, amazing people like Aretha. Aretha knew Dr. King. Aretha went, took this seriously. She got a hold of, this message coming out from radio broadcasters and realizing that her music was an instrument to change history. It was not just, hey, this is my career and I make music and I'm up here on stage and this is a cool job. Like, no, she took this seriously. Like, we're changing things. We're making history. And the NATRA had her perform this record live, and this was actually lost. This recording was lost for a number of years, and it was found by David Nathan, who wrote the liner notes of this, which is great too. I'm gleaning some of this information. 2 records. Share them with you here. I have another record to review with this record. Go side by side. Just beautiful yellow, side 1 and side 2, and then side 3 and 4 are all right. Sliding it back in to the gatefold. This is real. This is happening in real time, unedited. And this is the sides 3 and 4. And this is also cool. Like this is not just a paper, right? Cheap paper sleeve. It's actually got the stuff inside. And here we go. This is orange. There's a lot of dead wax, but that's because, you know, the recording, you got to balance it out, right? So there's a film about Aretha's life that came out 2019, starring Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson's career started on a singing competition called American Idol. And for whatever you feel about American Idol, like, I get it, you know, these singing competitions and stuff, but, you know, thank God for American Idol for finding this woman. And there's a really cool story, and I'll put a link in the description to her actually talking about this. Jennifer Hudson was 21 years old when she auditioned for American Idol. And what did she sing for the judges? Aretha Franklin. And she nailed it. She was really good. And you know who else was watching? Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin became a fan. So apparently she watches the show, right? Became a fan of Jennifer Hudson. So Jennifer Hudson, who is an Academy Award-winning actress, right? Won Grammys, won a Golden Globe, NAACP honors and awards, came in seventh in 2004 on the American Idol, right? 7th place. I don't even know does anybody know who won in 2004? It doesn't matter, because Jennifer Hudson nailed it. And this is the soundtrack from the film. It's not a gatefold, but the sleeve is really cool. There's a song on here that she wrote with Carole King, which is another cool part of this story. Respect, written by Otis Redding. That is not written by Aretha Franklin, for those who don't know. Respect was actually written by a man, which is interesting. But it's not just a man thing. Like, men, we want respect. Reminds me of Rodney Dangerfield. We get no respect. Another cover that Aretha did that was a huge hit for her, more than the woman who actually wrote it, Carole King, was You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Aretha Franklin's rendition of that song, much like Respect, right? Better than the originals. It's funny, songwriters write a song and then somebody else grabs a hold of it and just knocks it out of the park. And that's what Aretha did with Carole King's Feel Like a Natural Woman. Kennedy Center honors. Aretha Franklin was honored back in 1994, and Carole King, who wrote, again, one of Aretha's biggest hits, was honored in 2015. And you could tell that she didn't know that this performance was gonna happen right about here. And then Obama wiping the tear away, right? And then Aretha picks up the mic, right? She's sitting at the piano. I'll have a link to the whole thing in the description. But this moment where she stands up and she takes the stage. Again, 72 years old. 3 years after that performance, on August 16th, 2018, Aretha Franklin would pass away from pancreatic cancer. Jennifer Hudson was a friend of Aretha's all the way up to the end. She may have been one of the last people to hear her sing on the phone. Jennifer was invited to the house, and when the movie, like the movie was in the works while Aretha was alive, and she absolutely wanted Jennifer Hudson to play her in the role. Just a cool friendship between the two women. And Carole King, another longtime friend of Aretha Franklin and Jennifer Hudson. It was so cool that those two women had this connection. And then Jennifer Hudson writes a song with Carole King. Here it is. Here I Am Singing My Way Home, written by Carole King, Jennifer Hudson, and Jamie Hartman, right there, all right? Now, the song, right, Singing My Way Home, is 3 years before she passed, and I don't know, like, it almost seems like supernatural. You hear older people, right? I think about Ozzy Osbourne or Johnny Cash or some of these guys who's, you can tell that their voices aren't the same, right? Ozzy doesn't sound the same on Sabotage, Black Sabbath, as he does like today. He just doesn't. Frank Sinatra did not sound, you know, in his 60s, 70s, he didn't sound the same. I mean, still a great voice on old Frank, right? But you could tell. I mean, but Aretha, it almost seems like supernatural to me. And sure, you could say that, well, you know, Russ, she may have been, there's technology today, and maybe in the background people were technologically messing with her voice. I heard her in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, of all places, on YouTube, when she released she did some covers. She covered Adele, which is cool. That was her last album. And she talked about it. Yeah, I don't like auto-tune and the technological trickery. What explains that voice at that age? You know, just maybe working it out. I don't know. It's a mystery to me. It's a beautiful mystery. Aretha Franklin, these two records, awesome. The film is great, heart-wrenching, honest, right? She does Jennifer Hudson is an amazing singer and actress. This record is amazing. Aretha Franklin is a beautiful soul, intricate part of Black history and American culture. Just a treasure. And to see her, you know, in that performance in 2015, kind of like singing her way home, right? Not trying to be religious on you or anything like that. I don't believe in religious or secular music, to be honest. It's just, it was just really amazing, that performance, and her as a woman, and these two records. That's it for me. That's all I got. Later. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you're new. Why not?
It is quite amazing to me to hear the joyful rhythms which I found time to enjoy as a youth here in Atlanta years ago, coming back across the Atlantic with an English accent, or to see you introduced youth to that music and created the language of soul and promoted the dance which now sweeps across race, class, and nation.